All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. This is Seattle Pandemonium Shutdown Day 402 by my count. What's going on? It's Tuesday. So what's going on? What's going down? We've got, sometimes they end up saying the quiet part loud. And what that means is there's a thing to essentially be true, even though it hasn't actually necessarily been stated as such, right? It hasn't been articulated to basically be exactly the way you think that it is. And what I'm referring to is the Project Veritas expose of CNN that was, the clips were coming out today. We've known that CNN is fake news, leftist propaganda for some time. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, as as a business model or, that's just what they are. And, we all sort of know that, so it's fine. But it's another thing entirely to basically hear them saying it out loud. And that is kind of the important part of this expose by Project Veritas. If you don't know who Project Veritas is, they are investigative journalists who they get deep sometimes. I'm not quite exactly sure how they do, all the stuff that they do. They get recordings of phone calls. They've been on conference calls with Jeff Zucker and other heads of CNN, and the heads of CNN don't know who they are, and then they interrupt and go, "Hey, this is James O'Keefe of Project Veritas," and it's funny. It's funny, but in this instance, what they recorded was CNN journos and program directors or whatever, saying, "Yeah, our objective isn't to tell the truth. Our objective, especially in the last election, was to get rid of Trump." They're saying this objective, they're openly just saying, yes, we were trying to get rid of Trump. That was the purpose of our coverage. It was the purpose of our, story topics, our framing, our language, our chyrons. It was all meant to help get Donald Trump unelected. Now, again, on the one hand, that's fine. I already knew that. I mean, I knew that implicitly in the terms of, that was sort of demonstrably clear for many years. But I think it is valuable. It is important to hear them say it as such, because then they're acknowledging that what they're doing is they're intentionally being dishonest in order to achieve a sociocultural objective. In this instance, trying to unelect Donald Trump. And, they were at least partially, they contributed to the success of that endeavor, because the bad orange man is bad. What does that mean? Well, it means that CNN know that they are propaganda, and then we know that they know, and now they know we know they know. So, I got some Final Destination stuff going on in front of me right here. It's steel grates. Hopefully those tie downs hold it down. I might back off a little bit. I mean, it'd be cool for the clicks and all, but I'm not getting put through a giant flying cheese grater on your guys' account just for some. Well, I wouldn't even be able to upload it if I was already wiped out. Anyways, so what else is going on? What's going down? We've got. So I think I mentioned this maybe last week when I was talking about absurdity. And it's not even that the things are absurd, it's that our objective, hyper-normalized awareness of how absurd everything is its own problem, right? So what we have now is the Biden administration basically backtracking on its border policy because they realized that they created a cesspool of human trafficking and exploitation by backtracking the Trump-era policies, and now they're basically reinstating the Trump-era policies that you offer a first nation, what is it, the first country of first safe country policy, and then they're building more border wall where we need border wall because the border wall works where we need border wall, and then we use fences and patrols in other places in order to cut down on crossings, and now the border crossings have hit like astronomically high levels compared to previous eras, even the Obama era. And there's the story from today, or the clip that was going around, is Joe Biden is in, I don't know, the Oval Office, and he's talking about vaccines, and he's like stammering, jabbering Biden, like, look, we called for 600 million vaccines, and so we had 600 million vaccines, and then 100% effectiveness. And you're just like, what are you, like, his brain is pudding, like, he's not, this is like, I call it sad, but this was predictable and knowable. This was clear from before the election. Like, I don't understand how people said, oh, it's a stutter. If you've ever known a stutterer, that's not a stutter. Stutterers go, what I'm trying to say is that I have a stutter. That's a stutter. Now, you can have someone slow their roll, slow their speech patterns down so that I have a stutter that I control by manipulating my speech pattern. And they will sound kind of like that. It's like the King's Speech, right? You take a more calculated approach to speaking, and you slow down, and then you don't on your like diphthongs or whatever. That's not a stutter. That's an old man who can't keep track of all of the specifics of all of these issues all of the time, and that's why he's probably not even going to finish out a first term, and you're going to have Kamala Harris, the forced president, the least popular, probably one of the least popular presidents we've ever had. Yes, more unpopular than Donald Trump, or less popular than Donald Trump. She couldn't even make it through the primaries with, what, 4% of the vote or something? Democratic voters rejected her. Never mind the rest of America. This woman that's like a freaking sociopath. Oh my God, you guys. This really is playing out this way because CNN told you that the bad orange man is bad. God in heaven, man. It's all really happening. And then you go back to, again, these riots in Minneapolis, which resulted in, I took a couple pictures last night of some damage from rioters here, because there's nothing like being a completely unoriginal hack, but to riot in your city because some people in some other city are mad at their police department. Okay, guys, you're heroes. What's the takeaway? Takeaways from that is basically the same as yesterday, from viewing the body camera footage and seeing the officer that fired the shot. It's a disaster of like legal liability. I don't know exactly how it breaks down. It's his fault for trying to flee. It's her fault for apparently pulling the wrong weapon and pulling the trigger. People are saying, I don't know if it's fair to say she knew which weapon she had in her hand or something. I mean, maybe, but I don't know if you can demonstrate that. I mean, they might be able to get manslaughter or something, but I don't know. I feel like they'll put responsibility for escalating situation back on the kid in this situation, and it's another trial to cause riots because, again, my glib take, Democrats are bad at policing black people. I mean, Minneapolis, they voted, right? The city council at least voted to abolish their police department, and then in a panic brought them back because they realized that not having law enforcement is a really terrible idea. And I say that as some sort of anarcho-capitalist who I'm suspicious of this whole notion of state-backed policing, but it's one of the functions of the state. So, I mean, it is what it is. And furthermore, people with this excuse of like, well, he was afraid for his safety, so he fled. Well, no, he wasn't really in danger until he fled. That's asinine, and saying nonsense like that, Chelsea Handler, is going to get more people killed because they're going to have this paranoid delusion that the police are trying to kill them, okay? Look, they don't want to do more paperwork than normal. They don't want their lives ruined. They don't want people harassing their families because they killed somebody while they were trying to do their job, okay? Now, in 1965 or something, sure, probably. Do cops get held accountable for their mistakes? Not that often. See the Daniel Shaver case. But it's like if fomenting this idea that your paranoid suspicion of the violence of the police grants you permission to, like, flee the scene. I'm sorry, that is terrible advice. That's going to get people hurt and killed, and not just not just the suspect in the situation. It's going to injure the cops. It's going to injure bystanders as they try to flee the scene, and justifiably or not, it's going to cause all kinds of other chaos. And like I call out Chelsea Handler put out the tweet that like, well, of course black men are going to be afraid of the police. They have a 50-50 shot of being killed by them. Now that's so asinine, my brain melts. It's like, so you're saying half of the time the police interact with a black person, they commit violence or kill that black person. Half of the time. A 50-50 shot. Flip a coin. They might kill you, they might not. That is so irresponsibly stupid to put out that kind of signaling. And I can say, yeah, that's really stupid, but I'm one person. I don't have, millions of followers like she does. So her tweet will go 50,000 likes, and then here's mine with 5 telling her that that's stupid. And she's putting out the signaling. Black men, the police are going to kill you if they stop you, so run away from them. Great idea, Chelsea. Yeah, nothing bad's going to happen from that, you imbecile. My God. Ugh. And I'm told I have it on good authority, that's not even her worst criminal justice take. So, lad. Anyways, guys, if you've been watching, we've watched that building sprout from a hole in the ground to an Amazon tower. that is an Amazon. So, what's going on? Let's go. Come on. Oh, there's other traffic coming. We don't have a green light. Got all the construction bros crawling over this city like army ants. Help bring it back, boys. Help bring it back. All right, what else is going down? Oh, they're talking about possibly rolling us back to phase 2 on account of increased cases of COVID and hospitalizations. King County and oh, Jesus. Ugh. Never mind. Stupid shotgun mic. All right, are you entertained now, Soto? I'm fighting with the shotgun mic again. Anyways, yeah, they might roll us back to phase 2, which is reduced capacity, like less than 50% on restaurants, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I still think I think we're past the point of compliance at this point. I don't see how we can, like, justify snuffing back out what has started to regrow. I feel like people aren't going to comply. And that's after all the other shenanigans that have gone on. I mean, the people meeting, in groups and in private and whatnot. Yeah, I feel like people are over it. We're getting vaccinated. I don't know. And someone asked me, hey, are you going to get the vaccine? And I've actually had a couple people ask me, like, oh, did you get your vaccine yet? And I know that other people are excited and everything, and there are definitely people that I think should, like, be at the front of the line. Mostly people who are really scared or whatever, like, go ahead, go get it. If you're elderly or whatever, go ahead, go get it. I don't care. I'm not going to get it, though. Like I've explained, I am reasonably certain that I had the bug last year, right at the initial outbreak. And, you know, this was ground zero right here in the Seattle area. And, you know, late February, I believe it was the 21st of February, I got hit with something ruthless, crazy high fever for days, sweating through my clothes, and difficulty breathing. I almost went to the hospital and took enough medicine, drank enough fluids, started coughing up goo, green and brown and yellow goo for days and days, and then my fever went away, and then I felt like $1,000,000 again. I went back to work. It took like 6 days or so of symptoms and being gross. Now, I may have been one of those asymptomatic carriers for some portion of that time, but we didn't really know that at the time. I took a few days off from work and stuff and basically quarantined, and then I got better. So I just don't think I need the vaccine, but that's me, and I don't get the flu vaccine either. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that the survival rate is plenty high for a lot of people in my demo, and, you know, that's my assessment. And you're not going to forcibly inject me with some stuff, or we're going to have a problem, so I'm just not really going to do that. Anyways, that's enough from me for one day. What is this, Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday, day 402 of the end of the world. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.